How's it going, my fellow shiny Pokemon? Shiny Snorlax here, bringing guys the Pokemon Showdown fight, so let's get started. Opponent leads off the Uxie. I lead off with my Electivire. I go for a Wild Charge to get some good damage, and as you can see, we're having a bit of good conversation in the chat. Opponent goes for a Thunder Wave for some reason, but my Motor Drive ability just raises my speed. I go for an Ice Punch, predicting the Dragon switch, but it doesn't. But I get jacked on the recoil. Opponent brings out Uxie, and I go for another Ice Punch, and Uxie takes the hit. Opponent switch out Dragon, predicting the Wild Charge, and I die from Life Orb, Recoil, Rough Skin, and the Rocky Helmet. I bring out my Cryogonal. I knew that he was going to switch out, but I didn't know what else to do, so I decided to go for an Ice Beam just to get some chip damage in. I switched out into my Lilligant. Opponent goes for a Volt Switch and switches out into its Scyther. I hoped I could outspeed it, but I did not, and the opponent took out my Lilligant with a Bug Bite. Opponent switches out into Dragon, and I go for a Stone Edge and take out the Dragon. Opponent brings out a Lantern, and I go for an Earthquake, and I take out the Lantern. Opponent brings out Uxie, I go for a Stone Edge, but miss, and opponent goes for a Thunder Wave. Opponent goes for a U-turn, barely does anything, and switches out into a Gallade. I go for a Stone Edge, does quite a bit of damage, and goes for a Psycho Cut and almost kills my Aerodactyl, but I'm paralyzed, so I can land off a hit. Opponent goes for a Leaf Blade and finishes off my Aerodactyl. I bring out my Crustle. Opponent switches out into Uxie. I decide to go for a Toxic, predicting the Uxie switch. Opponent goes for a U-turn and switches out into an Ascoligar, and I set up Stealth Rock. Opponent goes for a Hidden Power, and I know it's Hidden Power Fire because it boosts up with Fire Gem. And I go for a Rock Blast and take out this or however you pronounce the name, with 3 shots with the Rock Blast. Opponent goes for a Close Combat, doesn't do that much, and gets his defense forward. I go for a Toxic because I thought he would switch out, but I know that I can survive another hit, and I do. And so I set up 1 Spikes because I'm just basically leaving Crustle out. He has Death Fodder. Opponent goes for a Leaf Blade and finishes off my Crustle. And now I switch out into my Spiritomb, and opponent switches out into a Scyther. I go for a Foul Play and take out the Scyther, and opponent switches out into Uxie. Uxie goes for a Heal Bell, and I go for a Foul Play, almost kill it, but it didn't work out. Opponent goes for a Thunder Wave and paralyzes my Spiritomb, but however I pull through and go for and take out the Uxie with the Foul Play. Opponent brings out Gallade and gets hit a lot by the hazards. Opponent goes for a Leaf Blade, doesn't do that much, and I finish the job with the Foul Play. A pretty good battle in my opinion. So yeah, like, favorite, and subscribe to become a shiny Pokemon, and I'll see you in my next video.